This is how to make a moon exploding video in your editor of choice, whether it's Sony Vegas Pro, HitFilm Pro, or After Effects. So what you're going to want to do is go into your video editor, and then you're going to import your video. Just like so. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is make it a composite shot. Now, once it's a composite shot, we can just turn off the audio so it doesn't annoy us while we're going back and forth through the timeline. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take any piece of your choosing and track it from the video. So just go to tracker. It's the plus icon in HitFilm Pro. Obviously it's going to be different if you're using something like After Effects, but they're all generally work the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to track this tree. You know what? Let's track this corner here. So I'm going to track the corner back and forth. So just go ahead and click the forward icon right there to track forward, and then afterwards we're going to track it backwards. Alright, now that that's done, we're going to go to the point right before it stops tracking and track it backwards. Okay, now that it's done, we're going to bring in our moon asset. Now, since this is a quick and easy tutorial, I'm not going to show you how to do it the more advanced way, obviously. It'd take a lot longer. So what you're going to do is go to your video of choosing. I chose this video, and then find where you want your effect. In this case, in this tutorial, we're going to have a meteor go through the moon. So this is going to be what it looks like. Now what you're going to do is go to this website. I'll have a link in the description for it. You're going to paste the link, which is right up top here, into this search bar and hit convert MP4. Make sure it's at 1080p because that's the highest quality it goes, and hit convert. Now hit download. Exit out of this because that's just an ad. Okay, now we're gonna go to the download, hit Control X to cut it, and then Control V to paste it, put it on the desktop just so we know where everything is. So now go to File, Import, go to your desktop, and then go to the green screen moon effect that you just got. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna rename this moon, just so everything is nice and clean. Now what we're going to do is blend this moon to make it look like it fits in the scene. So go into your transform, this drop down menu here on the moon effect, and then go to transform, and then just change the scale so it looks like a convincing size. That seems about right. Now go to your effects and type in Chroma Key. It could be difference key for you. It all depends on the video editor you choose, but mine is Chroma Key. So what we just did there was we grabbed this tool and then clicked on the green screen so it's the exact color that we need. See, we're keying out the green color right there. Okay, now that that's gone, we're going to parent this to the new point so it tracks. See, now it's starting to make sense. Okay. Now, there's only one problem with this video. There are different parts of it, like that. See, now it shows the moon. How we're going to fix that is we're going to slice the layer, delete it, and make sure the beginning of it shows the moon. Actually, the moon can start right about there. Let's have the video start here. You know what? It doesn't track till around this point. So the tracker wasn't perfect, so let's just cut out the part of the video where the tracker messes up. So just drag it so the video starts there, and then drag the actual video over. Now we have this. Okay, so it's about lined up. Now all we need to do is make this look more convincing. So find where the video about ends, which is there. Ends right about there. You can either drag this or you can go to Slice Selected Layers. We're gonna slice all of these layers and delete it, because really all we need is the one scene where the meteor goes through the moon. Meteor, asteroid, who cares? When the giant rock goes through the moon. Okay, so now we're going to go to Blend in the controls. In the layer properties, we're going to go to the blend mode, and we're just going to cycle through the blend modes and see which one looks the most convincing. My opinion, this one looks more convincing, but what we can do is you can either do it like that, or to make it look better, type in duo, and then duotone will come up, put it on the moon, and then make the colors the same as the sky. And just play with them until you feel like it looks good enough. You can change the blend with original if you want to bring back the color of the original look, but I think this looks the best. So, what we have so far is this. So, it doesn't really make sense for the moon to just explode all on its own. So what we can do, actually first, type in blur. We're going to match the blur to this to the furthest point in the video, because the moon wouldn't be completely clear if you're looking at it in the sky. So just play with the radius amount on your blur effect until it matches the look of the video. I'd say 5 looks pretty good in this case. So now what we're gonna do is bring in the meteor. So you can look up a video, or you can either look up a video with a green screen, or you can bring in a picture of a meteor and then just key it and have it go through the moon just like that. Or you can do this. Go to footagecrate.com, and this is how I make most of my VFX videos. Go to Footage Crate, type in meteor. You do have to pay for Footage Crate, they have some free assets, but I doubt that these ones are going to be free. So you can use something like these, but there's no oxygen in space, so there wouldn't really make sense if there was a trail. Or you can get these. But really, it would make the most sense if you just brought in, for this video anyway, it'd make the most sense if you just brought in a picture of a meteor. So here's my picture. You can just download it from Google, a transparent picture of a meteor, or a green screen picture of a meteor. Go back to Chroma Key, key out the green, and we're gonna make this smaller. Change the scale. I'm happy with that size. Now we need to blend this to make it look like it belongs. Make sure that the meteor is behind the moon. You'll see why in a second. Now change up the blend mode on this. Something that makes it look like it's in the sky. That looks convincing in my opinion, so that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to start it from somewhere around here. Make sure that the parent is at the new point. And then we're going to change the position. Now it's going to start from there. Actually, undo that. It's going to start from when it shows the moon has its little, before it has its little explosion. Let's just start it from the beginning. So it's going to start from there. And then it's going to go straight through. So find where it starts. So it starts here. So right here, I'm just going to drag it. And put it right over here. So what we have is when it about hits the moon. Actually, just play with this. So right when it hits the moon, it has its little explosion. Alright, so the moon starts exploding from the other side. So just drag this. Change up the position there. And then try and line up where the meteor hits it. Now, because the moon's effect doesn't cover the whole screen and it goes white like that, it'd be strange to have a white box. So what we're going to do is make a mask for it. So go to the mask effect, go to ellipse mask, draw a little circle around the moon, and then go to the mask shape and then feather it. Change the position of it, make sure it looks good. Now let's line up the moon with the meteor. So you can see it's kind of on an angle. Go to transform, change the rotation. So it looks like it made direct contact with it. Now one thing I forgot to do is make the meteor a bit blurry so it matches with our video. So put on a blur effect and play with it until it looks good enough. That looks good in my opinion, so we're just going to keep that. So this is what we have so far. Now it comes out the other side, so the second that happens, we're going to make the position come out this side. And then make it keep going. Okay, now as you can see, it's looking pretty good so far, but it doesn't really make sense because this is the dark side of the moon, so the moon shape would be around here, but you can see it like that. Now that's because we blended the moon. Now, because we decide to have a meteor go through it, we can't do that. So make the blend mode normal. And now we're going to try to make this dark side match with the sky here. So go into the moon, go to effects, and play with the dark side so it looks like it fits. Type in Vignette, I think that's how you say it. Drag it in here. Now what this is going to do is give it a better looking shadow. So pull this way. You can play with the curvature and the softness. Just try and make it look the best you can. Looks pretty good in my opinion. And there we go. Make sure the vignette is above the duotone. So now it looks like this part is part of the sky. So what you're going to notice is when the meteor comes toward it, and this meteor is going to look quite fake, obviously, because it's not really moving. It'd be moving around the sky, like rotating and stuff like that, because it's space, but this is just a picture. You can go get a green screen video of any meteor just moving around in space and that would do, but this is just an easy tutorial to show you the concept. So right when it makes contact, you can see, boom, and then it comes out the other side. It's hard to tell if it really did line up with when it flashes because of how it's so laggy right now. So we're gonna have to go frame by frame. Okay, now we did The moon does flash, but it's not showing because of the vignette. So what we're gonna have to do is key the vignette to go away when it flashes. So when it comes out here, you're gonna have to make the vignette to go away. Or you could just pretend like the meteor is stuck in the moon and keep it like that. So find exactly right before the meteor comes out of the moon. Key the vertical stretch. And then go over one frame and then make it 0. And remember the number is 1.50. So then it shows it come out the other side. And now this little visible ring around it, it kind of makes sense because you're seeing the light of the smoke coming out the side, so. Okay, that's about it. And make sure you go to export. Make sure the preset is on a portrait preset. You could make it on Facebook, or you could create your own preset, which is what I did, and hit export now. That is if you are using a portrait export method. And as you can see, this is the final video.